fatty, fat, fat, fatty, fatty, fat, fat, fatty, fatty, fat, fat. Smells a lot like rat scat. Better get your eyes snap. Hide your lunch, here he comes. Fatty, fatty, no friends. Whenever his mouth opens.
I'm Christian DeGray. I'm artistic director of Mind the Art and the composer for the show. The show follows the story of Tommy, who is a 12-year-old kid who is perceived to be overweight by the rest of his classmates, as he's tormented through the course of a day, where he ends up getting locked in a bathroom by all of his friends, and then he has a nervous breakdown and then proceeds to eat them all, in kind of paying tribute to German children's folk tales, and essentially the story of Sweeney Todd and kind of some Greek mythology where your protagonist, in an ironic way, ends up turning against people in the way that they perceived him to be evil in the first place. The message behind the show is, I think, an important one. It's about bullying and about the victim and the person who is othered by society. And I think the show particularly focuses not necessarily on how the victim feels, but how we as a society react when the victim lashes out. So I think when you're looking at things like school shootings, or specifically when people are drawn to that kind of violence, what does that leave us, and how can that conversation take place? This show is important to me because along the veins of all of Mind the Art's productions is we try to make art that is accessible, but also aesthetic. It's about opening conversation between people of different groups about how it is best to kind of create social awareness. But we want to make it fun. And for me, that's the most exciting work, because it's work that is accessible and that can be highly enjoyable, but that you walk away with something, but you weren't spoon-fed it. You have to discover for yourself. People should support the show, one, because it's a lot of fun, because if you like anything along the lines of Sweeney Todd or Nightmare Before Christmas or Shock-Headed Peter, anything that's in that kind of darkish fable way, this is just a fun experience. Also, if you're a fan of anything that's a fusion between contemporary musical theater and opera or spoken word, this kind of attempts to create a nice mix of all of that. And more so than anything, I think it's an important message, and I think the discussion behind bullying and victimization and fat shaming, I think, is an important one to have, and this is an accessible way to have that conversation and have a good time, but yet still deal with the issues in a really responsible way.